This is Matt Grigsby, and you're listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com.
Horse make you sneeze, goat make you sneeze, duck make you sneeze, sheep make you sneeze. What's that? You stay away from these things? On the contrary, you live with them. Horse, goat, duck, sheep.
How do you do? Mr. Carl Lemley feels it would be a little unkind to present this picture without just a word of friendly warning. It deals with the two great mysteries of creation, life and death. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
It's doggy time.
What? No, you lying on me? I know for a fact you already had dinner. No, Mama fed you about 20 minutes ago. Don't give me that. You can't possibly be hungry. You eat too much as it is. Oh, the pot's calling the kettle black here. Your belly covers your doodle. Look at that. Need to put you on some kind of Atkins diet or something like that. Paws up, cats and kittens. You are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. I am your host and humble narrator, Bone Doggie, here to remind you that had anyone the motive and the cue for passion that we have here on Doggy Time, they would draw the stage with tears, cleave the general air with horrid speech, make mad the guilty, appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze the very faculties of your eyes and ears. Or they'd just do a radio show and hide the bodies later, which is pretty much just standard operating procedure here on the Doggy Time Show. So duck and cover, my cats and kitties, and let's get this show on the road. And the first order of business, my cats and kittens, is to acknowledge that yes, Doggy Time was off the air last week, mostly due to the gods of technology frowning upon us and the jaws of darkness swallowing us up. However, that was nothing that a quick little software upgrade and the threatening of a lawsuit couldn't rectify. So all you loyal listeners of Doggy Time will be very happy and tickled purple to know that we are back on the air and pursuing with this our 11th episode of Doggy Time. So as we sally forth here, we'd like to give a couple shout outs. If you have been paying any kind of attention, my cats and kittens, you will notice that we have from time to time been running a little public service announcement about putting drugs into the water system. That original project was spurned on by Brother Bob Ralph, who hangs around up at Banter Bistro running sound and snapping pictures of everybody. Bob is a teacher at the Education Center here in Denton, an 8th grade teacher. Bob's class entered a contest with Disney. They had to come up with a public service announcement, which your humble narrator was happy to be a part of. They also did a flyer that was to be distributed around Denton. And also the kids come up with a rap. So they put that all together and they sent it to California, and lo and behold, Brother Bob's class won first place in a national contest. So we want to give a huge shout out to the boys and girls of the 8th grade class and let them know that was some serious Denton represent. So again, major love and kudos to Brother Bob's 8th grade class. You know who you are. And last but not least, my cats and kittens, we would like to give an extra special shout out to Sister Marissa Sherwood of Backwater Opera. She has put together a group called the Canary Project. And basically what this Canary Project is an opportunity for singer-songwriters or band leaders or musicians around Denton, as well as non-musical folk, or muggles as we call them, to get together and confront the horrifying prospect of performing or singing without the advent of instrumental backup. And basically what that means, cats and kittens, is when you come to a Canary Project, you check your instruments at the door. And it was a fascinating experience, my cats and kittens. Basically what we did is we sat around in a circle, a very informal circle, and one at a time got up and sang a cappella. Now, Your humble narrator and host has been performing for a considerable long time, and keep in mind we were in a room full of dear friends, but the prospect of actually just standing there and singing a song was a wee bit intimidating, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. And then, of course, once you performed your little tune there, we opened up the floor for questions and opinions from the group. It's a fascinating project, Cats and Kittens, and it is open, like I said, to musicians and non-musicians alike, because we also cover the terrifying subject of public speaking as well. Now, in attendance for this little meeting, of course, was Robert and Marissa Sherwood of Backwater Opera and your humble narrator, who quite frankly was probably the farthest thing from a canary in the room. Also with us was Leoncarlo Callis, who plays fiddle for Backwater Opera and not a singer, but who actually has a very, very nice singing voice nonetheless. Bertie Knoll was with us, and Brother Jake Laughlin of DentonRadio.com, who covered basically public speaking. This is something that's going to happen every month, if we can work it that way. We will be advertising it on Facebook. What you need to do, my cats and kittens, is go to Facebook and search purpose/inspiration behind the Canary Project. I'll say that again. It is purpose/inspiration behind the Canary Project. Marissa's got a very nice little outline there of what the project is about. Now, Backwater is going to do a little bit of road work here, but I think the next meeting for the Canary Project is going to be in mid-April. So go into Facebook, check it out, look for the Canary Project, and we hope to see you at the next meeting.
Hey everybody, this is Karina Michaela, and I wanted to take a quick second to tell you about something awesome that DentonRadio.com is doing on Mondays. Ramen Republic has teamed up with DentonRadio.com to create Denton Radio Mondays. Every Monday from March 12th to April 16th, Ramen Republic will be playing DentonRadio.com all day long and will host live local music from 6 to 9. Every Monday, you will be able to hear me and one other live act. Oh, and also, Ramen Republic will have $4 regular noodle soup bowls all day long. So be sure to stop by 210 East Hickory Street for Denton Radio Mondays at Ramen Republic. Can't wait to see you there.
All right, my cats and kittens, the sands of time has sufficiently shifted enough to remind your humble narrator that it is now time to introduce this episode's special guest. Not only is he a powerful singer-songwriter and the lead vocalist and guitarist for the group Weekend Project, but he also just happens to be Bone Doggie's youngest brother. So let's put the paws together and make this world a diggable place for Brother Brian Coleman. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing today?
Not bad. Like I say, every day above ground is a good one.
That's true.
So, I want to thank you very much for coming out and doing this tonight.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. And you've been busy. What have you been doing?
Well, been busy. The bass player for the Weekend Project, Tim Hill, we just got through recording his CD and releasing it, and that's taken up quite a bit of our time. As far as the band is concerned, we're getting back. We're going to turn over our book completely and get back out there and start playing again.
Turn over our book?
Yeah, we're throwing out all the... We're basically a cover band, and
right.
And we're throwing out the songs that we've been playing, and we're going to replace them with new songs.
Little new blood pumping through your veins. There you go.
At this stage of the game, you know, it's all about... you know, having fun at it and just, you know,
yeah.
doing it that way. So we're going to
cool.
get some new songs. Personally, I've begun work on my third CD,
right.
which right now, and this may not be the way it ends up, but right now the title is going to be The Rise Over the Run, and all the math teachers out there will appreciate that.
The Rise Over the Run. You hear that, my cats and kittens? We have an exclusive rumor that Brother Brian's new album is going to be The Rise Over the Run. So,
right, and I've got a few
excited.
songs together, but nowhere near completion. We're looking at probably next Christmas, probably when.
Well,
it gets finished,
it's kind of nifty that you plan that far ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to overpromise and underdeliver.
We don't.
It's the other way around, isn't it?
yeah. Underpromise and overdeliver. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
See, with us, usually somebody just wakes up and gets on the phone and says, "Hey, let's do this." And if everybody's busy, then we don't do it. So,
well, you want to give yourself a little bit of a pad here because I tend to get carried away with vocal parts sometimes.
Yes, you do. And we will get into that when we talk in the interview segment of the show later on. So right now, though, I think it is basically time to introduce this week's featured artist. And this week's featured artist is Mr. Dave Thomas. And no, my cats and kittens, it is not the guy from Wendy's. Dave Thomas is a singer-songwriter, a lot like Mr. Joe Penson. You know Mr. Joe.
I do.
Oh, Mr. Joe.
Mr. Joe and his keyboard.
And
yes.
his keyboard and his weird little songs.
Right.
Well, apparently, Brother Dave has weird little songs, too. And I was listening to him the other day and just laughing my head off. So we're going to give one now. This is probably aptly titled Paranoia Bossa Nova. This is Brother Dave Thomas, and you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com.
Everywhere I go, everything I do, I swear there's people watching me. Do you think they're watching you? Do you think they're watching you? Walking down the street, driving in my car, I swear there's people watching me. Well, I wonder who they are. Oh, I wonder who they are. Friends will say I'm paranoid. There's no one there to see. Just because I'm paranoid, it don't mean they ain't after me. It don't mean they ain't watching me. No, no, no. Watching from the windows, they're watching from the air. I swear there's people watching me. I can see them everywhere. Oh, I can see them everywhere. My friends all say I'm paranoid. There's no one there to see. Just because I'm paranoid, it don't mean they ain't watching me. It don't mean they ain't watching me. Looking over my shoulder, what do I see? All these people watching me. Well, I wonder who they be. All the people that is watching me. Oh, I wonder who they be.
Paws up, cats and kittens. You got Bone Doggie here. And I know a lot of you out there in Doggy Land are wondering how you can get your music played on DentonRadio.com. Well, here's the lowdown, Brown. Every Thursday at 7 p.m., DentonRadio.com sets up shop in the back of Banter Bistro, which is located at 219 West Oak Street, to make ourselves available to get you and yours registered. The process is actually very simple, my cats and kittens. All you have to do is show up with a valid ID and a recorded CD or a CD of WAV files or MP3 files of your tunes and sign a wee contract that basically gives us the rights to play your music. And the answer to the $64,000 question is no, my cats and kittens. You are not giving us the rights to any of your music whatsoever. You're just giving us permission to play the songs and spread the gospel. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. Now, for more information, you can click on the little banner below. Visit us at DentonRadioBlog.com. Scroll down the page till you see that little white question mark on the right-hand side that asks the magical question, how do I get my music on DentonRadio.com? That link will take you to a page that will fill you in on the whole story, Glory. So if you want to get your tunes out there on Denton Radio, meet us up at Banter Bistro every Thursday night at 7. That's 219 West Oak Street here in Denton. And it's always helpful, my cats and kittens, to give us a shout at contact@DentonRadio.com to let us know you're coming. We're looking for you. We're looking for your tunes. So come on out, get signed up, and make this world a diggable place for Denton music. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. Come in, 005.
004, sir.
004? What happened to 005?
Well, I'm afraid he's 00 dead, sir.
00 dead? Are you 00 sure, 004?
That's a 00 doornail, sir. 00 done in 00 Dubai, I believe.
00 damn. This is a 00 disaster. 005 was supposed to go on a secret 00 mission.
Would that be the 00 mission to seek out and infiltrate the live music scene in 00 Denton, sir?
00 dash at 004, that's supposed to be a 00 secret.
With respect, sir, live music in 00 Denton is no 00 secret, sir. Everyone knows about it.
Are you sure, 004?
Oh, 00 definitely, sir. Sir, if I might make a 00 suggestion, I'd like to do my 00 duty and volunteer for this 00 mission in place of 005.
That's bloody 00 sporting of you, 004. You realize, of course, this is a 00 dangerous detail. Are you up for this sort of thing? This 00 business could get bloody.
00 positive, sir. I'm 00 ready to go.
Very well, 004. You will be 00 dispatched to 00 Denton to seek out live music scene in place of 005.
00 righto, sir.
Oh, and be sure to stop off and see 009. Pick up some of those 00 gadgets you chaps are so fond of.
And we need to remind you that this information was not solicited. We got it off the internet. So if it's not exactly correct, it's not our fault.
That's right. No responsibility, none taken. Well, Brother Brian, what is happening at Banter this week?
Well, it seems that on Friday, March 30th, from 6 to 7:45, we have Poetry Out Loud. We have jazz with Andy La Violette.
Andy La Violette, yes.
La Violette.
From UNT up there, jazz band.
Right up the street there at 8 to 9:45 p.m. And then we have Bubba Hernandez at 10 o'clock to 11:45.
Good old Bubba Hernandez from Brave Combo, the original bass player for Brave Combo.
Oh, yeah, I knew I'd heard that name.
That's who he is.
Okay, on Saturday, March 31st, from 8 to 9:45, we have Wise Ruby.
Wise Ruby is great. That's Julie Livingston and Kathy Hare, and those two are brilliant. Happy stuff right there.
All right. And then we have Karina Michaela.
Our own Karina Michaela's.
Karina Michaela's birthday bash from 10 to 11:45.
That's right, our own Karina. She's been on the show here once or twice. And at Dan Silverleaf, Thursday, March 29th, we got 2 Tons of Steel. That show is going to be at 8 p.m. and the door price is $10. Friday, March 30th, we got Mingo Fish Trap. I was looking at their website today. That's like an 8-piece band.
Wow.
I don't feel nearly as bad doing that. So, how many pieces Weekend Project?
Core 4.
Core 4?
With augmentations here and there.
Oh, okay.
But,
well,
mainly just 4 at this point.
We're Core 6 and lead toward 12 every now and then. So,
exactly.
Yeah, so we do that.
A great name, Mingo Fish
Mingo
Trap.
Fish Trap. It is a great name. That show's supposed to start at 9 p.m. up at Dan's, and the door's $10 there. All right, Saturday, March 31st, we got Bubba Love and the Moneymakers. That show is at 8 p.m. and the price is $8 at the door.
You can't go wrong with Bubba Love.
That's right, Bubba Love, good guys there.
At Haley's on Wednesday, March 28th, we have Ops Espanola.
Try that one again.
Okay, he's throwing me these curveballs here.
I do that to everybody.
It's like
every
Sandy
week.
Koufax.
I know.
Ops Espanola, Seismatic, and Aphrodisiacs.
That's the greatest name in the entire world. Aphrodezyaxe. Aphrodisiacs.
We also have the pajamas, and here's the one that's not hard. It's called Faces in Clouds.
Faces in Clouds.
Starting at 9 p.m., the cost is $5 to $7 if you are under 21.
The cost will be $5, $7 if you're under 21.
Oh, right.
That's it. We're reading a script, my cats and kittens, and sometimes Doggie don't type well when it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So.
On Friday, March the 30th, we have also at Haley's Secret Secure, We the Sea Lions, Buffalo Child, and Bedouin Dust. Starting at 10 p.m., and that cost is $8, but if you're under 21, $10.
$10, that's right.
I feel discrimination against the under 21 crowd going on here at Haley's.
A lot of skinny jeans under 21.
That's
so
okay.
Yeah,
I as a father of a teenager, I believe in that. So that's good.
You believe in discriminating,
right?
Well, what's happening on Saturday the 31st?
On the 31st, Scary Cherry and the Bang Bangs.
I love that name too. That's a good one. That's a good
nice.
band. That's a good band.
Love Stricken Demise, Crash Rover, and Daylight Industries, starting at 10 p.m. And again, the cost is $8 with a $10 premium on the skinny jeans under 21 crowd.
That's right. That's right.
Rubber gloves.
Yep.
We've got Friday, March the 30th. We have the Cozy Hawks, Particular People, Code Talkers, and that all begins at 10 p.m. Cost $1, and for the under 21 crowd, $5. On Saturday, March the 31st, we have the Late Night Grind, also at Rubber Gloves, and that will start at 10 p.m. Cost $8 and $10 for the under 21s.
Late Night Grind. That doesn't necessarily sound like a disco band, does it?
Not at all.
No, we're probably going to be making some noise that night.
Absolutely.
All right, well, this is the big one. Friday, March 30th at 9 p.m. up at Andy's Bar. We are giving the Royal Birthday Gala for the Duchess, Abby Messerly. That's Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers trombone player, our own Duchess, Abby Messerly.
Yes, that is the brass section of the Bone Doggie band.
She is brass, too. She is brass. Well, we're throwing a big birthday bash for her.
Right.
Playing up there is going to be Contingency Clause, Jambunctious, which is a really good jam band. Of course, Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers. A group called Paper Planes. And to end the evening, my cats and kittens, my boys, 1140, are going to blow it out. So that's going to be a bloody good show. Come on out there to Andy's Bar. There will be a cover, and it's usually about $6 for the cover. But come on out, and let's celebrate the birthday of the Duchess, Abby Messerly, at Andy's Bar. Okay, now we do have a couple special events going on Saturday. Of course, we've already talked about Karina Michaela's birthday bash over there at Banter. But the long-awaited release of Matt Grigsby's CD is going to be up at J&J's Pizza on Saturday, March 31st. At 8 p.m., we're going to have our good friends Earthshine. That's Tanya Blum and David Rios. And that bunch, they're going to kick off the show. And then at 9 p.m., it'll be My Kick Drum Heart. Then, of course, at 10 p.m., old Matthew himself will get up there. And apparently Matthew's got a band this time around. Matthew's been playing solo for quite a while, and now he's got a band. So
that helps quite a bit.
It does help quite a bit. It makes Matthew louder. And now a lot of people would wonder whether that's actually a good thing to do or not. But
does it make him one louder?
It makes him, actually, I think it's going to make him 4 louder, come to think of it, from the rumors that I'm hearing. And then at 11 p.m. to finish out the evening, good old Shelby Vinyl is going to be up there. So they're also going to have an after party, my cats and kittens, at 12:30 with more beer and music at 2404 Denison Street. So that up at J&J's Pizza, Matt Grigsby's album release.
So it's a great Saturday night that's going to turn into a Sunday afternoon.
That's right. That's right. Where you wake up and wonder which city you are in. So, and of course, we would be remiss, my cats and kittens, if we did not mention some of our favorite things, and that, of course, is
the open mics.
That's right, the open mics in Denton, and there's a few of them now.
We have Garage Monday.
At the garage, what you have to do is you have to go in on the website, thegarage.com,
okay.
and you basically have to sign up on the website, pray that they pay attention to you, and then you go in. You usually get 3 or 4 songs.
All right. And then you have at the Crossroads, you have Crossroads Tuesday.
That's right. That's Matt Grigsby's open mic up there at the Crossroads. Sign in is at 9 o'clock. And Matt's got a murder board. He doesn't have a list. He's got a murder board. You go in and sign your name to the murder board. So.
Nice. And then Love Shack, Wednesdays.
Wednesday, Love Shack. Yeah, I don't know too much about that. I think it starts about 8 o'clock and goes on. And, of course, then there's the big one at Banter on Thursday night.
Banter Thursdays, featuring your humble host, Bone Doggie.
That's right. The best open mic in town. And also the most popular. Sign up is at 7 o'clock, and if you are not there at 7 o'clock, there's a good chance you're going to miss that list.
Yep.
Even with spring break, we were 3/4 of the way full.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a good one, and we've got a lot of talent up there. We've got a lot of really good people that play up there. So.
And I can tell you from experience that no one is too young to play open mic at Banter. I think we had a 5-year-old up there a few weeks ago.
He was back. He was back last Thursday.
Was he?
His name is Kai.
Kai, and he's got a great song, and it has about 27 verses to it. And,
last
come see
Thursday,
Ty. Yes.
Last Thursday, Kai played Beethoven and Fleur de Lis.
Wow.
And then after with his daddy, Kelby Shrunk is Kai's daddy, and he gets up there with daddy, and he did Beethoven, and then he sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. And Kai is not shy to the stage. Let me tell you, the child has got some charisma, personality, and ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some of that.
You got to have that. You know, you can't get up on stage and do that stuff without a little bit of that. And so if you have talented children, get them up to Banner on Thursday night and make their dreams come true.
And on the other end of the spectrum, if you are as old as either Bone Doggie or Mr. Joe, which are card-carrying members of Geriatric Park, you can come up and play there too. Actually, I think there's one other guy that plays up there that's actually older than I am. That's Pat York.
Well,
yeah.
I've always subscribed to the idea that you only got one shot at this, and if you do play music, you need to just keep doing it until you fall over. I don't understand why people stop doing it,
And one of my favorite sayings is, when you die, that's how good you're going to be.
That's right.
That's right. So you just keep working at it until you finally shuffle off the mortal coil.
Yeah, you still get better.
There you go. And then they give you a harp, and you got to learn how to play a whole new instrument. So, So, all right. Well, that is the gig schedule for this week by Cats and Kittens. And now, Brother Brian, I think it's time that we flit off into the world of our featured artist once more.
All right.
And this is an epic tale of epic proportions. It's all about the people that hang out at Walmart.
Oh, Lord.
So this is Brother Dave Thomas and his song, Walmartians. And you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could.
Well, I went down to the Walmart. It was getting pretty late. All I needed was some nacho chips, a camera, and some bait. As I walked in through them sliding doors, all that I could see was these strange-looking critters, and they were staring back at me. You know the ones I'm talking about. Those folks are dressed so weird, like that guy there in the pink hot pants with the tattoos and the beard, and that skinny chick beside him. Lord, she's giving me the chills in her leather bondage bustier and her 4-inch Hercules heels. Walmartians beats all I've ever seen. Walmartians, every night is Halloween. Wall Martians, nothing could be clearer. Well, I'll bet they never looked into a mirror. There's a guy over there in lingerie, looks like a plumber in a thong. His pants are hanging way too low, and that underwear's just wrong. There's a lady wearing fishnet stockings and a leatherette miniskirt. 400 pounds of loving with I'm sexy on her shirt. Wall Martians beats all I've ever seen. Wall Martians, every night is Halloween. Wall Martians, nothing could be clearer. Well, I'll bet they never looked into a mirror. If I was the fashion police, I'd be busy writing tickets to that lady in the halter top. She looks like a busted can of biscuits. And I'd really like to tell her, but it'd probably start a fight. That spandex is a privilege, not a right. Wall Martians beats all I've ever seen. Wall Martians, every night is Halloween. Wall Martians, nothing could be clearer. Well, I'll bet they never looked into a mirror. But it's really not my place to accuse, 'cause I'm wearing my old flip-flops and my NASCAR jammies too. Well, I guess it's time I grab my stuff, get checked out and go. I'll come back tomorrow though for another late night fashion show. As I was walking out, this guy was walking in, and I could tell by what he was wearing, he was gonna fit right in. Wall Martians beats all I've ever seen. Wall Martians, every night is Halloween. Wall Martians, nothing could be clearer. Well, I'll bet they never looked into a mirror. Wall Martians, they're everywhere you look. Wall Martians, someone could write a book about Wall Martians. Nothing could be clearer. Well, I'll bet they never looked into a mirror. Yeah, there's a Wall Martian in my mirror.
Are you growling?
Yes, he's growling.
He's growling under there.
That's what he does.
He's a growly dog. All right, my cats and kittens, that was Brother Dave Thomas and his epic tale of epic proportion, Wall Martians. And now it is time to sally forth and venture into the world of information, rumor, and murder and mayhem, really, which means actually we're going to interview our special guest. We got Brother Brian Coleman with us here in the studio tonight. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your roots? You have been virtually doing music all your life.
Yeah, I would consider myself first and foremost a singer, and I've been doing that since I was 3 years old.
Exactly, 3 years old. You started singing out of the blue.
Pretty much, standing up in the back floorboard of the car. You know, they didn't make us sit in safety seats back then.
We're dating ourselves here, cats and kittens, but there was a time in the history of the United States where you did not have to buckle your kids up.
That's
right. And so
made cars look like they weren't safe.
Well, the car was the size of a city block.
Well, yeah, I did that and started playing drums in the 6th grade, and when I was 12, I think, is when I got the bass.
Yeah, you got the bass when you were 12.
And Bone Doggie had drums, and I wanted the drum set that he had, and I traded him the bass.
I wanted the bass, so it worked out really good.
Of course, two weeks later, he was like John Entwistle, and you know, about 5 years later, I still wasn't very good on the drums.
That's not necessarily true. You were a very good drummer. Brother Brian got hooked up with a Kiss band in high school.
Well, yeah, I mean,
what was the name of that bunch?
it was called Adonis, and we were a Kiss band because 90% of our book was Kiss. We did play some other things too, but it was cool because that's how you got girls, and we found that out real quick. It was a good thing to be in a rock and roll band in high school. When I got out of high school, that was actually the first time I hooked up with Bone Doggie in a band, and that band was called Sebastian. And that was a band of such incredible musical sensibility, but very bad equipment.
We had terrible equipment.
Yeah.
Almost none, come to think of it.
Right, and I think that's what eventually killed us.
But some amazing players in there. Richard Foster, the Right Reverend Richard Foster.
Right.
Played guitar, and Mr. Speed Metal himself. Oh my gosh.
The Leap Year Baby from Hell, Chris Taylor.
That's right. But this was a drummer. Chris Taylor was a drummer. And my Cats and Kittens, he would warm up on Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Right.
So yeah, there was quite the, and we, for a little old rock and roll band, we kind of pushed the envelope. We did a lot of prog rock.
It was a really good band.
Yeah.
It was a good introduction to me to the live music scene. Coming out from behind the drums and doing lead singing is not as easy as you might think, because all of a sudden you're just naked. You don't have your
right
drums
in
in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was really the band where I kind of got my courage up, I guess, eventually. And
I know when I started singing, I guess if you want to call it that, when I became the front man and was no longer playing bass, I was petrified.
Yeah,
I was petrified.
It's scary, and people usually dismiss the singer in the band because they think that's the cheapest gig, but it is hard, It's more than just wiggling your bum, okay? It's not much more than wiggling your bum, but it's a little bit more.
Actually, I find bum wiggling to be a great space filler. If you got nothing to do, wiggle the bum. Yeah.
But we've been in various bands through, the 80s and 90s, and the late great Flip Takes a Trip, which was
that was an interesting.
That was a good band.
That was a fun band.
We put out a CD. I think it went wooden.
Well, it didn't go wooden. I think it did go aluminum.
Maybe so.
Yeah, I think we sold
there was some
20 copies
in there.
I think. Yeah, it was about 20 copies we sold.
But after that, I had spent like 20 years being Napoleon in bands, and I just decided after that I didn't want to be the driving force. And
really,
yeah, the only thing I want to be a driving force on nowadays is my own music,
right?
Which I am. But as far as the band I play in, Weekend Project, I let other people take care of things, and I just show up and I play the gig, I like to set in with, my favorite thing is just to set in with other things. Sitting in with Bone Doggie is
little jam
is always fun.
Little jam.
Because
quite often.
It's just at this point for me, it's about getting up and playing and just doing what I love and not worrying about the politics of it or anything.
Yeah, I think if you dump that, you dump a whole treasure trove full of things. I don't have to worry about the politics anymore. Freedom, I can breathe. So,
right.
But and when you go solo, it is kind of hard not to concentrate on everything.
It is, but I do have a clear direction of what I like to do with my own music. I've been writing music since I was 16.
Right.
A good percentage of that is crap, but and that happens with any songwriter. I mean, you write a certain amount of crap, but then you write some stuff that you're really proud of.
Kind of the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of it is going to be so-so, but that 20 is yay.
And it's all a growth process. The thing I'm most proud of these days is arranging. It's the arrangement of a song that makes me most proud of it, because
and it's something you concentrate on. I remember in Flip Takes a Trip, this was one of my favorite things about that band, is you would bring a skeleton of a song.
Right.
And Tim Hauser, the guitar player, would, everybody was responsible for coming up with their own part. Tim would add some guitar to there. The current drummer from the Hickory Street Hellraisers, Chris Cordell, El Chupacabra, was the drummer for Flip Takes a Trip.
Right.
And then there was your humble narrator and Brother Brian here, and Brian would bring the skeleton of a song to rehearsal, and then you and I would go into a literal feeding frenzy of arrangement.
Right.
Yeah, and these other two guys would just kind of sit there and look at us with their mouths open, going, "My gosh, what are these guys doing?" We would scream and yell and throw things at each other, but at the end, we come up with some pretty dandy arrangements, I thought.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we experimented quite a bit. We really did. And that's what I loved about that band is being able to experiment, and
Right.
stretch the wings a little bit, and not always working.
No.
A couple train wrecks in there.
But it's never going to always work.
No.
No. As long as you understand that, you're good.
Exactly. Well, speaking of your singing and songwriting, we need to feature one of your tunes.
All right.
Off one of your, we got 2 CDs here. What song you want to hear?
This is a song off the last CD I released, which was last July, and this is my CD Picture Show. By the way, both of my CDs are available on iTunes and CD Baby.
I love that. Say it again. Say it again.
iTunes and CD Baby, Brian Coleman. You
go.
just search my name, Brian Coleman, and you can find both of my CDs. The one that I would like to feature on the Bone Doggie Show today is a song off my Picture Show CD, and this is a song called Living Fast Asleep.
All right, my cats and kittens. Well, here you go. We got Brother Brian Coleman and his song, Living Fast Asleep. And you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. right, that was Living Fast Asleep from the CD entitled The Picture Show by our special guest, Brother Brian Coleman.
That's right. Tell all your friends about it.
Tell everybody about it. Plug it, plug it. So one of the things we talk about a lot here on the show, and we get an opportunity to, because, you know, we run into people that are of our ilk, i.e. singer-songwriters.
Right.
The songwriting process. And you know, and of course, my first question to everybody is, do you have a particular way of doing things?
Right.
But you've also added to that producing, because you have produced these 2 CDs virtually by yourself,
Right.
and you're working on a third now. So, is that an extension of the process? Do you look at it that way, or?
Yeah, because well, it's a long process. You know, you start
Right.
floating around in your head, and that idea could be there for a year. You know, and then
Several years, actually.
yeah, and maybe some music will come about. I usually tend to write music first. You know, I come up with ideas musically, and then I'll take an idea that I have, and then I'll put lyrics to the music.
That's interesting. So you actually write the melody and the instrumental part.
Right. You know, and you'll hear it in your head for a long time. And the challenging thing about producing, I guess, and you know, I really wouldn't recommend self-producing. I think it kind of is important to have another set of ears in there, but I just, you know, I don't have that
I was going to
luxury.
say that could get a little bit like proofreading, where you know you're going to miss something anyway.
Yeah, and you spend so much time in the recording process with the music that you really never want to hear it again by the time that it's out. You get so sick of it, you have to put it away for a long time.
I've been working on this
you know,
song for 6 months, and I can't stand the sight of it anymore.
But you hear the song in your head, and then you go to record it, and you know, you can't really explain it, but there's just something, it didn't come out the way you thought it was going to come out. And that's when, you know, you really need an outside producer, I guess. But yeah, that makes it challenging. That when you're talking about producing your own music, that makes it challenging, because are you ever going to get it to a point to where you like it, I guess? And at some point, you've got to let it go. If you're going to put out music,
right.
You've got to let that stuff go. And you've got to also keep in mind that most people aren't hearing what you're hearing.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, they're hearing it with different ear bones.
Right.
And absolutely, they're going to put their own spin on it.
And that, you know, crazy beat or note or somewhere that really doesn't make any difference that's in there that drives you nuts, the chances are nobody else is going to hear it.
Exactly. And you know, we've both watched guys that literally killed themselves over you know, an 8-bar piece of music, and you know, there's 4 beats in there somewhere that go south or something like that, and they just kill themselves over it. By and large, you know, the public is going to hear it in a different way anyway. So really, if you could sit back and relax and just let it come out and let it happen like it comes out naturally, I would say 9 times out of 10 you're going to have a good product.
Right.
You know?
And perfection is really not what people want. You know, people want honesty, and people
really?
want...
You mean in this day of Justin Bieber that perfection is not paramount?
Oh, did you just bring Justin Bieber into
no,
this
we
interview?
can't trash anybody. No. Actually, see the dartboard over on the wall that's got Justin Bieber's picture on it?
I think people that have what I would call a well-rounded musical sensibility, which, you know, translated by me, and this is just my opinion, people who appreciate music.
Right.
I think what they're really looking for is spontaneity, and they're looking for honesty rather than every note right. You know, and I've gotten to that point to where maybe a note of singing didn't go quite the way that I thought it was going to, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. There's a song on my Recover CD, which is a song called Wallflower, and I really like the vocal at the beginning of the song, and it's very fragile and it's very vulnerable, which means that it's kind of shaky.
Right.
It's just the way it came out. But when I heard it, I said, you know, this adds something to it. This is not perfect singing per se,
right?
But it's good for what it is,
right?
You know, and that's the way I feel about singing. You know, a good singer to me is not necessarily a good technical singer. It's what you do with the singing that matters.
Let the soul come out.
Somebody like Joe Cocker, or, you know, for that matter, Bone Doggie, you know, what he does with his singing.
I mean, you call it singing.
Well, I do call it singing.
That's
because
very gracious.
it's perfect for your music. You know, it adds a vibe to it, and it sets the environment.
Yep.
You know, so that's good singing to me.
Right.
Did we get off on a tangent?
Probably so. It's very cool though. But you know, one of the things, especially with Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers, when we go into a studio, we know the songs and all of that. I am much more interested in walking in there and playing it. I am never ever interested in producing a piece of music, because it kills it. It takes the life out of it.
Right.
The spontaneity. It's like the old jazz guys.
Yeah.
Miles Davis. Those guys didn't spend 6 months in a studio. You'd have a good day if they were there for 2 days.
No, you basically go in there on a 2-track and you would record the stuff that you were playing at your gigs.
Exactly.
And you know, that would be your album.
And the thing is, you know, with certain types of music you can do that. Obviously, with there are certain types of music you can't. But by and large, with our type of stuff, you actually can do that. And that's how I favor it, really. You know, when we go into a studio, we go in, we do a couple takes just in case.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, that first take is the one that's going to have the gut. You know, unless you're not warmed up. Once you're warmed up, the second one is usually the best.
And it's really something you can't explain.
No.
I can't explain it.
That's because it's natural.
Yeah.
Really, it's a natural thing. Well, speaking of natural things, we need to play another tune from you. What do we want to do here?
Let's go ahead and play that song that I was talking about. This is from my first CD called Recover.
That's right.
And it's kind of a funny song. It sounds kind of like a very earnest love song, but it's actually about an old college girl that I met at a songwriting contest.
Was she an old college girl or an old college girl?
She was an old college friend of mine who, by the way, now is, I hear she's a classic rock singer.
Really?
But we met at a songwriting contest, which, by the way, I won. I won $100.
Ooh, that kills your Jim Thorpe status of being a rookie.
But we went to a party afterward, and she said, well, come by the house, you know, the next day. And I did. And I spent 5.5 hours in front of her house waiting for her to come home. And I'm pretty sure she knew I was there, and that's why she never came home. But that's a story behind the song. But it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like just a lovely little love song. And this is called Wallflower from my CD Recover.
All right, so we've got the song Wallflower from the CD Recover by Brother Brian Coleman. Let's give it a spin. Push the button, Max.
Yesterday is over. Tomorrow might never come. She's waiting somewhere out there, somewhere over. Will she come? Will she come? Whispers here don't matter. I don't hear anymore. Looking out through the darkness, in the darkness, cold and numb. I'll never go again. I'll never leave this dream place. I'll only stand against the wall and wait for her. She was very real, very hard to forget, and her eyes shot arrows through my heart. We had a moment together, never come. She's waiting somewhere out there, somewhere over. Will she come? Somewhere over. I'll never go again. I'll never leave this dream place. I'll only stand against the wall, wait for her. I'll never go again. I'll never leave this dream place. I'll only sit there in my car and wait for her. I'll never see her again. I'll never see her again. I'll never see her again.
All right, my cats and kittens, that was Wallflower from our special... That was Wallflower by our special guest, Brother Brian Coleman. Thank you so much for coming out and doing this.
Oh, no problem. This was
really
a blast.
It's fun. We enjoyed it. I'm glad to have you out doing this.
I support your show here, and I support Bone Doggie and Denton Radio in general.
That means that you told Mom about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we would like to invite you, my cats and kittens, to keep listening to DentonRadio.com and tune in for a new Doggy Time show every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. or same Doggy Time, same Doggy Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to read that.
Oh, am I where I'm supposed to be?
No, you're on the wrong page. Find the page, dig it out the page there.
Sorry.
We'll play.
So the liner here?
No, the red stuff.
Oh, the red stuff.
Yeah, read the red stuff.
And if you want to listen to Doggy Time anytime,
that's right,
you can just click on the Doggy Time button on our DentonRadio.com player, or you can go to our blog at DentonRadioblog.com, where you can also hear past episodes of Doggy Time. You can also find Denton Radio on Facebook. So leave a post on the wall and let Bone Doggie know what you think of the show.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, so spread the gospel, my cats and kittens, and tell your friends and loved ones about us. We support local here at DentonRadio.com. We're going to leave off tonight with a featured artist, Brother Dave Thomas, and his song, I feel like this sometime, Musical Mercenary.
Yes.
There you go. So, we're going to have Brother Dave Thomas here and his tune, Musical Mercenary. You have been listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it? You can't dig it, can you? You've tried. I've watched you try, but you just can't dig it.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Well, I knew that you could.
You ain't paying, I ain't playing. Play for fun, but not for free. Brother, if you want to hear me singing, then you're gonna have to pay me. Oh yeah. All right. Well, I could be home fat and happy, sitting in front of my TV. If you want me to bring my guitar, then you gotta slide me some green. Show me the money, oh brother, I'm out of here. If you don't understand me, let me make it clear. I'm a musical mercenary, play for fun, but not for free. I'm a musical mercenary, so brother, you're gonna have to pay me. Show me the money, oh brother, I'm not a bit. Don't understand me, let me make it clear. I'm used to mercenary. I live in a world where cash is king. Yeah, I'm a musical mercenary. Gonna have to pay me to sing.